Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you're all good. You may have just seen a video that I put out recently on my channel with my good friend Mikey, who, if you don't know, is the guitarist in Skindred, who were one of my favourite bands growing up, and we were reminiscing about it back when I used to go and watch them when I was younger, stuff like that. And it was really cool to have him come to the studio and talk all about his brand new venture, which is his own pedal brand named Redbeard Effects. I remember a couple of years ago at Larvik Guitar Festival when he was playing with Clockwork Wolf, and he was chatting about, you know, wanting to do something like that, like branch out a bit from just playing in bands. When he came over and, you know, he'd mentioned that he'd launched this brand, and I was like, I really hope it you know, comes off. And then sure enough, he turned up with the first offering, which is the Red Mist MKIV, which is like a distortion pedal with a lot of grunt and a lot of aggression. And yeah, so he came over and we checked it out, and the video for that is in the description box below, so you can check that out. And I have a good chat with Mikey about everything to do with the pedal, what it's aimed at, what it's trying to do, and basically the ethos behind Redbeard Effects. So in this video, it's just me with the same pedal, the Red Mist MKIV, and I thought I'm just going to mess around with it and give you some tones so you can hear how different it can sound using a Strat and a Les Paul, because I figure most of you guys will have those. In the other video I used a Strat and the Mayonnaise, something more modern. And Mikey brought his own signature Manson over. So yeah, this is really just like a tones video showing you a few different things that I can get from it. So what I'm doing is running into the Rev D20, going into the Universal Audio X8P Apollo interface, and I'm using reverb and delay from there. Let's just get right into it and try and get some tones. Okay, we'll start with the Strat. This is it straight into the D20. So it's pretty clean. Let's throw on the Red Mist, everything at 12. So it's thick, it's, you know, it's kind of like almost verging on like a fuzzy kind of tone. That's with everything at 12 o'clock. I know that Mikey had intended it to sort of emulate his kind of high gain stack that he uses a lot live, but when he was talking about the settings he liked to dial in, everything was sort of around 2 o'clock, so we'll try that out. But I just wanted to test out the range of gain and all that kind of stuff, so let's have a listen. So in that demonstration, I thought I'll play around with the range of gain, and the EQ is very powerful. You get loads of low end from this pedal, and the mid is very powerful. To be honest, it's a all around very effective pedal. Now it sounds a bit obvious, but you know, sometimes you can get pedals with EQs that are more subtle than that, whereas this is really obvious what you're doing and what you're changing, which I definitely enjoy. Like I said in the other video, it's like a cranked amp, and I know that's what Mikey was hoping for, is that you can get his kind of amp tone in a pedal, and it really does have that. I like the chord definition, I like the sizzle of the distortion overall, and like I said, I like that kind of slightly fuzzy distortion tone, and that's what this pedal has. It's definitely got chord definition, it's nice and articulate on a bridge pickup for lead on a single coil. It retains a level of articulation, but it fattens up and almost becomes more of a fuzz on a neck pickup. So if you're looking for like a clean articulated lead, use the bridge pickup. It's an aggressive sounding pedal, and I love it when you have it cranked and you do like the deaded string. Like, all that for me sounds really cool. And generally when you're digging in and playing down a scale, like a bluesy kind of rock kind of thing, all that kind of stuff, it really does sound great. It's just got a grunt to it that I'm enjoying. But I already knew it sounded good with the Strat because I did that in the other video. What I want to try is my 71 Les Paul Custom, because I know that's going to add a completely different spin to things. So I'm going to plug that in. Okay, Les Paul, this is it straight in. So it's definitely more muffled right now in the sound. So let's kick in the Red Mist back. Everything's back at 12. That is a fierce distortion pedal. I can hear with the Les Paul, I needed to push up the treble, I needed to duck out a bit of bass. I pushed the level up, and mid's more or less where in the middle. But where this pedal really comes into its own is that kind of 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock positioning of the gain pot. And to be fair, that's where the treble sounded nicest. So let's try out Mikey's favourite settings, which would be roughly this. Right, let's try that. there you go. There is a look at the brand new Red Mist Mark IV from Redbeard Effects. My initial impression when I played the pedal with Mikey here was that it sounds like a cranked stack, one that's kind of leaning more to the sizzly kind of almost on the fuzzy side of things overdrive, and it definitely does that. The other thing I like is that it has that Mikey thing, which if you're a fan of Skindred or his guitar sound, there's a song particularly on the album Roots Rock Riot called Rat Race, and there's a riff in that, and this pedal can do that tone just like immediately. It's like a rounded grunty tone with the nice bit of sizzle on the top, and you can just hear that in this pedal. Not only that, it comes in a coffee bag, which is sick. It looks awesome. The logo is wicked. The whole idea of Redbeard as a brand is cool, and not least to say that Mikey's a mate of mine, and it's really cool to see him take a big leap into the unknown doing something like this, so I'm really happy for him. But honestly, the pedal, it's the kind of distortion that I enjoy because it's on the edge of fuzz, and for me that's something that I look for in a lot of the kind of guitar sounds that I like personally. I'm a bit of I do like articulate stuff, but where I find it sounds really angry and you can get a lot more moods from it is that kind of fuzzy end of a distortion, which is what the Red Mist does. So yeah, between the video I did with Mikey and this one, I hope that's enough ground covered with regards to tones and stuff. It's got a really powerful EQ. It's a super high headroom pedal, so you really can crank it in front of an amplifier. I imagine it's quite versatile as well, depending on what amp you run into it, and the guitar of course. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll link the other video in the description box along with all the information on the Redbeard Effects Red Mist, and yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you as always to Mikey and Redbeard for sending this pedal over. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you all very soon.